Often we talk about marketing and getting new leads into your business. But to be honest, there's a few critical things that we actually need in place first to ensure we've got a really strong foundation to build from. I like to look at it this way. So you wouldn't go fishing without baiting the hook or even actually putting the hook on the line in the first place. You just wouldn't catch anything, get any bites at all. So in the same respect, we need to ensure that we have these really important foundations in place in our business prior to jumping in with our marketing. Now, don't despair if you don't have these in place just yet. The fact that you're listening to this and you're watching this means that you're ready and you're willing to actually make changes and improvements in your business. Start where you're at and work through these key areas and really start to implement them into your business. Now, let's look at these individually. The first one is the right mindset for success. Now, I've spoken about this in another video, but basically having a really strong ritual in place to work through any self-limiting beliefs, any self-doubts, and any crippling mean girl stories, and working on that vivid vision of yours as well. The second one is knowing the numbers, the important numbers in your business. Now, we've also spoken about this, but if you're not aware pretty much of the key numbers in your business, it's near on impossible to actually ensure you're spending less than you're making. So as humans, I don't know how we do it, but we have this innate ability to always think we have more than we do. And we're always spending more than we actually should be. Now, I've been caught out a few times in the early years thinking that a small $20 spend here or there was nothing. But if you add 15 to 20 of these together over the week, they certainly start to add up to, a significant amount. So know your current revenue numbers, guys. Not inflated either. Always be aware of your spending and always try to spend less or, find ways to reduce your costs. Know your profit margin and what you're actually tracking or working towards. Know how many numbers in your business or know how many members in your business and the average revenue each of these brings in a week or a month. Now, by being aware of these, you can actually remain on top of your business and on top of your spending. The fastest way is to go under, guys, is basically to have no idea about your spending and end up in debt. Next, we need to have a really strong pricing and packaging in place. So, what I mean by this is basically you have packages that create recurring revenue. So, revenue that you're getting in each and every month or every week because that client has actually committed to a contract, a long-term contract. Then we need to make sure that you're pricing yourself at a level that is actually congruent with the service that you actually provide. And I can almost guarantee that you'd be probably pricing yourself below what you actually provide as value. Fourth, we need to have an onboarding system in place to support new people on trials in your business. Now, when we set up a system to look after new people, we're creating a relationship with them. And that relationship is therefore creating trust. This in turn helps us to convert them through to long-term members or to memberships with us. Without some sort of onboarding system, people really have no connection, with you or your business. They don't know what the process is that they're going to go through or how to continue on. And you'll end up with the same crappy conversion rate that is pretty much the industry average, so around 10 to 20%. So, an onboarding system can look different for each business, but usually involves some sort of one-on-one induction to show that person around the center or the studio, get into their goals, and also set them up for success. So it's then a matter of continuing the relationship by checking in with them during their trial, during their intro offer, and supporting them moving on to a membership, guys, at the end of that trial. So, with these in place, you can start to really ramp up your marketing efforts. Firstly, you'll have the right mindset to actually create excellent content and offers. You'll know what you can actually spend on your marketing efforts as well because you know your numbers. You have packages for recurring revenue set up in your business, and you'll have a system to actually support these new people onto your packages and increase your conversion rate significantly.